As we get set for basketball, the Jaguars taking on the Bobcats. Georgia College coming into this ball game with a record of 4-2. They have lost their only Peach Belt Conference game. Jags coming into this game with a record of 3-2, as this will be their opening Peach Belt Conference game. Jags coming off a loss at Bowie State, 62-55, after a big win against Benedict, 104-75. We will pause for our national anthem. We will also have a moment of silence to recognize the life of the 41st President of the United States, George H.W. Bush. And then we'll have our starting lineups for you. We'll be right back. And now we go through the starting lineups for this afternoon's ball game. First of all, for the Bobcats from Georgia College, Mark Gaines in his 5th season as head coach. Ryan Aquino in his 5th season as assistant coach. Starting at guard, a 6'1", 190-pound sophomore from Conyers, number 1, Jordan Thomas. Starting at forward, a 6'7", 205-pound senior from Tryon, number 10, Isaac Thomas. Starting at forward, a 6'4", 205-pound sophomore from Calhoun, number 15, Chapin Rearson. Starting at forward, a 6'4", 200-pound sophomore from Statham, number 22, Matthew Quint. And starting at guard, a 6'2", 180-pound sophomore from Savannah, number 24, Justin Cave. And now for the Jaguars, who come into this ball game with a record of 3-2. Dip Beatrice in his 15th year. Drew Gibson in his 2nd year as an assistant coach, along with O'Neal Armstrong. Starting at guard, 5'10", 185-pound freshman from San Juan, Puerto Rico, number 5, Miguel Arnold. Starting at guard, the 6', 164-pound freshman from Capitol Heights, Maryland, number 11, Darren Lucas White. Starting at forward, 6'2", 225-pound senior from Alexandria, Virginia, number 13, Tyvez Monroe. Starting at forward, 6'4", 215-pound junior from Sao Paulo, Brazil, number 22, Rafael Monteiro. And starting at forward, the 6'8", 219-pound senior from Bristol, England, number 24, Dean Williams. First conference game for the Jags. They're in the home white, and the Bobcats are in the visiting green. As we get set to go, Jags will be moving from right to left on your screen.
It was a really good matchup against Bowie up in Maryland, so hopefully they can take that momentum, even though they lost, into this game. And as you said, with the 104-75 win over Benedict, they had a really good showing there as well.
Jags start with the basketball. Tybez. Shot taken for three, falls for Raphael. And Montero's got the first three of the afternoon.
Punches home a three with a beautiful arc on the release, and then the height with the strength out of the legs to jump on that high and then release the ball. That was just pure perfection there on that.
Thomas with the basketball now. Like to get it inside, right side. Driving baseline, little 15-footer, does not fall for Quint.
It's a good decision by Quint to pull up and not face the Jags D, but wasn't too accurate on the shot there.
Tybez tries to follow it up and draws the foul. First free throw is good. Cole Roberts with the foul.
Jags will look to play a little bit better defense than what they played against Bowie here.
And Tybez makes them. Into Roberts. Roberts quickly on the right side. They get it inside. Backing up the Jags to no avail. Dean with the good defense.
Yeah, that was a tremendous spin move to get away from it by Wright, but he just couldn't find the mark on the one-handed hook.
Dean with the fadeaway. Makes it 7-0 Jags.
He can back you up, then at a split-second turn back around and fade away with the money shot. Dean can do it all from the paint. He just showed you why he's one of the highlights for the Jags this season.
LaFlamme with the basketball. Driving down the lane, throwing up the shot, and that's going to be an offensive foul on Isaac Thomas.
Great job from Raphael there, stepping over at the last second, solidifying his base under him, and then having no fear in taking down the charge right there for the offensive foul. A good defensive positioning there by Raphael to get that.
Jags with the basketball as the Bobcats apply a little pressure. Jags do get it across, barely.
And just get to show you, too, how 1 second can make the difference between a charge and a blocking call. Great decision there by Raphael.
Tybez with the basketball. They go inside to Raphael. Backs up Roberts, and shot clock violation.
He had a good baseline presence, walking the fine line of the baseline there, still in bounds. You might want to be aware of the shot clock when you have the ball down low like that.
LaFlamme with the basketball. Driving down the lane, scoring the basket. No. Offensive foul on Chapin Rearson.
That's two that Raphael is taken within a matter of minutes. That time it took 2 points away from the Bobcats, and what a stand the Jags are making, shutting down the Bobcats to this point.
Still trying to apply some pressure. White with the basketball. Darren drives down the lane, dishes off to Raphael. It'll stay Jaguar basketball.
And not only that, but the Bobcat defense has not been able to get their feet under them on defense, so the Jags have been throwing them off base ever since the opening tip, and that's working wonders for the Jags.
Offensive foul on Dean, his first, team's first.
Again, the Jags are pressing on with great ball movement and fast-paced assists and fast-paced passes to throw the Bobcat defense off, and Bobcats are looking for a score right here.
Colton Collins in for the Bobcats. Driving down the lane, left-handed side, score the basket for Isaac Thomas.
Great job from Thomas there, utilizing the arm to create the space, and then when he got the tilt to go right behind Montero's, when he did that, and then he put up the two right there, that was a phenomenal play by Thomas down low.
Nice play there by Raphael.
It's like, you can do that, you give a dose of your own medicine, we'll try to do it better. And Raphael banks it in for the two.
Mitchell Laflemme with the basketball. Score the basket there for Jordan Thomas.
Going up in the paint like that was almost a pick and a screen to set up the drive into the lane for the Bobcats to strike there. Really good play off of a temporary mistake there by the Bobcats. Worked out well for him.
Not sure how Tybez was not called for the travel, but it's a turnover. Bobcats up the court quickly. Driving all the way down the lane, batted out by Raphael.
One thing that the Jags have is they have height, but it's not necessarily that. It's aggressive hands, and it's also knowing when to come back and back up the defense and come in with sharp hand to ball presence and cover up like you saw there with a defensive mistake, coming back with a block to reset everything back up.
It's our media timeout. 15:53 to go. Jags up 9-4.
One quick thing here, John, is that the Bobcats might not get a better look than what they had, but that was due to the perseverance and the diligence of Raphael coming in for the second block on that attempt. We'll see how it plays out, but that could be a factor going forward on this possession.
Bobcats with the basketball now. Long three, no good. Paez pulls down the rebound. Gets it to Miguel. Back to Tybez. Goes baseline. Takes it all the way in. Too hard. Tap up. No good. Out of bounds. Bobcat basketball.
They were screening out Raphael to box him out to get a rebound, but that almost worked against them as that double screen left the interior lane open for the Jags to drive through and almost convert on the two.
From the free throw line, little fadeaway. No good for Thomas.
And that's a really good idea from Thomas if you can be accurate and convert. Seeing the traffic is there with a little bit of fadeaway creates the separation you need to lift up for that shot.
Raphael backs his man up. Goes that way, gets it to fall.
Phenomenal second decision there on the double spin there. That second spin gave him the space he needed to convert on the two.
Inside, doesn't fall for Thomas, who then gets his own rebound and puts it back up and in. Jags up 5.
That was good baseline presence there by Thomas, actually blocking out Raphael right there to get his own second rebound and then put it back up for the simple two.
Tyree drives down the lane, puts up the shot and scores.
When you've got an archway on the outside of the paint like that, use it to your advantage, and that's what the Jags did very well there.
Thomas pulls down that rebound. LaFlevin for the shot. Doesn't get it to fall. Pivez now with the basketball. Goes inside again to Raphael. Raphael on Thomas. Backs him up. Turns around. The little right-hander. He's drawn the foul. Second foul on Thomas.
Thomas had good discipline on Raphael, but he didn't realize that he had backup and 3 different defenders coming to help him out, and then Raphael's good decision there was drawing the contact.
Raphael makes the free throw. Aaron Bird in for the Jags. And he makes that one. Chapin Ryerson back in the game for the Bobcats. Kind of a foul on Darren, I believe.
Ryerson with a good screen to set or to spring out the point guard there for the Bobcats.
Second foul on the Jags. Get it back to Collins. Collins with the Cave. Cave shot is no good. Dean pulls down that rebound. Quickly up the court. And score the basket for Troy.
He used that short lane, and he used his body to finish off on the lane, backing down the defenders who were trying to go over the top to block.
Ryerson with the basketball. Dishes off. Back out to Ryerson, who loses the handle. But they say it stays with the Bobcat. Jags bench thought differently. Dip always thinks differently.
Can be animated on the sidelines as well, but right there, you've got to have tremendous concentration because you're over on the side of hostile territory. And to have one little mistake like that could have cost the Bobcats, but they've got the ball back.
I think that would have been 2 had it gone. It did not. Here come the Jags. Quickly up the court. Dean gets it back to Troy. Troy to Darren. Over to Aaron. Back to Dean. He's thinking about the 3. Thinks better of it.
He's shown to have 3-point range. He doesn't do it very often, but when he does, it's electric because he can be as accurate as anybody from 3-point range.
Troy says he got that shot tipped a little bit. Jordan Thomas back in for the Bobcats. That's Jordan there. (17-6). Jags up 11. Ryerson swings it. Little fadeaway. Can't fall. Won't fall. Darren with the rebound. Up the court for the Jags. Right side. Aaron gets it back to Darren. I get it to Aaron. Tyree drives into the lane and draws the foul.
Great job there by Tyree to back down a taller defender and then get the contact as the defender was on the back of his heels trying to block.
Here's our media timeout. 11:56 to go in the half. Jags up 17-6. 11:56 to go, first half. Jags up 17-6 on the Bobcats. Jags will be back in action here at Christenberry Fieldhouse on Thursday morning, really, at 11 for the yearly education game when about 2,000 young students will be in attendance.
That day is one of the most electric days here at the Crisp, and it is going to be rocking from the opening tip on Thursday.
Tyree makes the first. And Tyree makes the second. Mitchell Leflem with the basketball. Gets it over to Thomas. Rearson goes inside to Isaac Thomas. Dishes off to Jordan. Jordan gets the ball stuck in the rim. And it will be a jump ball.
You don't see that very often.
Nope. Jump ball will go to the Bobcats. They get a new shot clock. Nice defense by Troy. Driving all the way down the lane and not scoring the basket is Cave, and he is fouled. I think that it's on Aaron. First foul on Aaron. Team's third foul, but it will send Justin Cave to the line, shoot a pair.
Yeah, Rearson did a really good job there of saving it for the Bobcats, walking that tightrope on the baseline, getting it back into the safe zone in play for the Bobcats to try to convert on these 2 points from the charity stripe.
Cave misses the first free throw. Raphael and Miguel are back in for the Jags. He does make the second. Raphael was open underneath. Dean could not get it in time. That'll be three if it goes, and it does. And the Bobcats want a timeout. 11:12 to go, first half. Jags up 22-7. All right, back at Christenberry Fieldhouse. Bobcats with the basketball now. Finding themselves down 15. Ryerson goes inside. Immediately triple team. Scrum for the basketball. He called a jump ball. It'll be Jags basketball.
Aaron displaying some phenomenal grit and toughness and tenacity going after that, as you like to say, John, scrum for the basketball. That extra little bit of aggressiveness that the Jags have on defense has helped them in a lot of very close games this season, and one of the reasons why in an exhibition game they pulled out a huge upset victory against a Division I South Carolina Gamecock basketball team.
Raphael goes over to Darren and to Dean. Dean tries to back his man up and dishes it back out and then back to Dean. Turnaround, fadeaway, short, misses everything.
Great defense there by Rearson, not to let Dean overtake him on that court exchange.
Thompson tries going all the way in, and that got batted away a couple of times. Thomas with the basketball. Drives down the lane. This time cannot convert. And the Jags come away with it. Darren up the left side. Back to Miguel, who drives down the lane and scores.
You have 3 Bobcats collapsing the paint there, and it leaves one lane open. Take it, burst through it, and that's what the Jags just did right there for the 2, and they're up pretty big right now.
Ryerson dishes back to Mitchell Laflamme, who fires it across court. Long 3, good for Thomas. I'm sorry, Wesley Simpson with that.
That was all money on that shot, and he had a beautiful arc on the shot as well.
Aaron for 3, no good. Batted up by Aaron, follows up with a rebound and then offensive foul.
The Jags right now just anticipating the ball more, wanting the ball more, and then when they don't have the ball and when they do, they out-quicken the Bobcats defense, and that is paying off in huge dividends for the Jags.
Isaac Thomas back in the game for the Bobcats. Jags also make some changes. Jordan Thomas with the basketball. Gets double teamed in the corner. Gets it inside to Roberts. Roberts backs up Raphael and scores the basket.
Great shot there by Roberts, but an even better decision there by Raphael, going for the trap, then realizing what was going on, and they didn't allow the Bobcats to expose the Jags and try to take back that shot. He retreated very, very well and then guarded Roberts even though he made the shot.
Raphael gets the 3 to fall. He's got 12. Thomas gets it to Roberts and a whistle. I think foul might be on Troy.
Little bit too much of a touch of physicality there from the Jags.
First foul on Troy, 5th team foul. Mitchell Laflamme will inbound. Ball is stolen away, there's a collision. Jags eventually come away with it. Tybez for 3, no.
And he had a really phenomenal look at that shot too, just come up a little short.
And Jordan Thomas takes it all the way 4-2. That could not have made Dip happy. Here comes Miguel.
No, but especially when you have that much speed going off a fast break, and to be able to close that gap between the half court and the basket like that, put up for an easy layup when the defense is already behind you, that's phenomenal work there by the point guard.
I think Troy got fouled shooting the 3. So he will go to the line for a while. Troy's going to shoot 3 free throws. Makes the first.
Love how Troy lets his feet and his legs do most of the power lifting and then follows through with a nice crisp arc on the release.
Makes the second. Miguel checks back in. Tybez sits for a little. Jags up 15. And he makes all 3. Mitchell Laflamme with the basketball. Dishes off to Ryerson, who's 3. Look a bit awkward, but it's the front of the rim. Darren with the basketball. That could have been a walk there. Inside. Turn around, Raphael. This is everything. Bobcats up the court quickly. Thomas pops for 3. No good. Ryerson dishes it back out. Mitchell Laflamme now with the basketball. Ball stolen away by Tyree. And a fifth foul on Jordan Thomas.
Tyree in that defensive setup was 2 steps ahead of where the ball was. He knew that pass was coming back to the point guard and was 1 step ahead and just anticipated it and then just stole it right from the Bobcats.
Here's our media timeout. 18 to go. First half, Jags up 30-14. Back at Christenberry Fieldhouse, 7:18 to go first half. Jags at the line. Tyree's first shot is no good.
Just a little too strong there on the back end. He's got good power from the legs, but just could not find the money shot on the release.
And not surprisingly, the second one is short after the first one was long.
You can make too much of an adjustment at the charity stripe, and that's what happened there with Tyree. He backed a little too much.
Thomas with the basketball now. Top of the key, picks up his dribble, gets it to Ryerson. Ryerson takes a walk, but does bank it off the window for a basket.
Great job of utilizing what he had in his area to assist him right off the glass and then right off the rim to bank it in for 2.
Deeren with the basketball. Plays catch with Tyree, and then loses the basketball. And then nice defensive play by Deeren.
That was an instance where Simpson did a little bit too much there. He wanted to try to switch hands at the last second there and did not concentrate to get the ball into the left hand, and that's what caused the ball to go awry, and the Jags have possession.
Bobcats want the timeout. 30-16 Jaguars. Bobcats will inbound the basketball. Thomas gets it over to Simpson. Again, Ryerson brings it back out.
Jags playing good tight-knit defense.
Dean forces Ryerson to throw that shot up high. No good. Deeren up the court for the Jags. Loses the handle. Fight for the basketball will be a jump ball that will go to the Bobcats.
It's a good fight by Deeren, but just a little bit too much craftiness there by the Bobcats for the Jags to sustain possession.
Simpson brings it across midcourt. To Ryerson. Back out to Thomas. Jordan drives right side, throws up the shot, and draws the foul. Foul's going to be on Troy, I believe. Second foul on Troy. It will send Jordan Thomas to the line to shoot a pair.
And the Bobcats would like to try right now to try to go beyond 50% on all free throws that they have a chance at making, because that will be critical in them trying to come back.
Tyvez back in. Marshall Laflamme back in for the Bobcats. Say Marshall, I apologize. Mitchell Laflamme. Tyree back in for the Jags. And free throw is missed. Ooh, that is pocket picked by Mitchell Laflamme, and he scores the basket. Nice play there.
And so fluid on the transfer to hand from right to left, and then the touch off the glass, kissing it on through.
Miguel gets it back to Tyree, who gets it to Tyvez, and they start playing catch. Yeah, tries to force it into Dean. Dean's able to save it. Gets it back to Tyvez, who gets it into Raphael. There's just 3 on the shot clock, and that will be a wasted possession for the Jags. Here comes Sampson. Going to take it all the way. Going to get it batted away by Dean.
When he goes up with purpose and emphatically brings that possession, or that particular possession in terms of the shot clock being up to an end. Man, oh man, was that a statement made by Dean Williams.
Sampson drives down the lane, turns around, puts up the shot, no good. That was Jordan Sterling who's checked in. Tyvez forces the pass into Dean, back to Tyvez. Tyvez will pop for 3, no good. Dean skies for the rebound, puts it back up, no good. Out of bounds. And the officials aren't quite sure. I think they're going to give it to the Jags.
The thing that helps out Dean, too, is yes, his height, but he's so quick down low, too, that he can get underneath the defense trying to block him out and garner rebounds just like that, and that's why the Jags have the possession, because of Dean's efforts.
Miguel for 3, no good. And we're going to have a foul on the Jags. I think that's going to be, is that going to be on Raphael?
I think it might be.
Yep. First foul on Raphael. But we will come to the other end for the 1-and-1.
Mm-hmm. He's been a dominant presence down low, but just got caught right there.
First free throw is no good. Bad pass by Tyree. Jordan intercepts that, drives on the lane. We're going to count that basket, and that's going to be a foul. Miguel commits that foul.
Yeah, phenomenal decision there by Thomas to drive through, knowing that Jags could not get back on defense fast enough to set their base and take the charge.
Here's our final media timeout of the half. 3:57 to go. Jags up 9. Jordan Thomas at the line for the Bobcats. Makes the free throw, gets the three-point play.
Good form to capitalize the three-point, or emphatically punctuate the three-point play.
Jags up 8. They've been up 16. Aaron with the basketball. Gets it over to Tyree.
Good pick there by Raphael.
Raphael gets double teamed. And they called 3 seconds?
I believe they did. Give him a little bit more seasoning in the college ranks, and he'll be able to fix that. But
Ryerson dishes off to Roberts. Roberts can't convert. Tipped out by Roberts. Jag basketball. Tyvez with the basketball now. Gets it over to Dean. Back to Aaron. Tyree. Try to go inside to Raphael. Jordan Thomas comes away with it. He makes his way up the court, takes it all the way, too short. That's going to be a foul on the Jags. That one's on Tyvez. First foul on Tyvez. Will send Jordan Thomas to the line, though. Shooting 2.
And if you're the Bobcats, you want to try to seize on these free throw attempt opportunities and convert on these, because this is going to be a major difference going down the stretch.
Rattles in the first one. Chandler Wright in for the Bobcats. That one does not fall, but Mitchell Laplem grabs the rebound. And he's going to take it all the way. Nope, dishes it off. Left side 3. Good.
Execution on that play. You cannot get much more picture perfect than that. Driving down lane at the last split second, sees the open opportunity on the far side, dishes it out on a phenomenal assist, and then the conversion on the money shot on the 3.
Dean from the free throw line with the basket. It's the Jags back up by 6. Mitchell, again, this time dishes it off, and followed up is no good.
That's something the last 2 plays the Jags have yet to account for, is Laflemme's quickness and speed.
Aaron goes inside to Dean. Dean double team, drives into the lane. And foul on the Jags.
It was a good job of controlling the paint and controlling the momentum of the drive until he stepped in, and just a minor offensive foul there gives the Bobcats a second chance to even get closer.
Under 2 to go in the half. Jags up 6. Jags have been up 16. Mitchell Laplem with the basketball now, crosses midcourt. Gives it to Roberts. Little 15-footer scored the basket for Collins.
Great decision there by Collins to pull up, but then another good decision by Raphael, too, to close down the lane and shut the door on a drive for the Bobcats, but they come back with that shot for 2.
Banked in by Darren. Thomas spins and scores.
That was a wicked spin move. Almost knocked him off balance and off kilter there to put up the shot. Nonetheless, great concentration to keep the ball rolling with his body and then grabbed the ball at the last second to control the shot as he put it up.
Dean from the free throw line. Soft shot, no good. Raphael follows it up, dishes it off. Gonna have a foul there. Tybez will go to the line. Foul was on Justin Cave, his second. Actually, Darren will go to the line. Makes the first.
See how the Bobcats box out here to see if they can keep Dean and Raphael from getting this offensive rebound if White doesn't make this.
And he does, and Dip wants a timeout now. 26 seconds to go. Jags up 6. All right, Bobcat basketball. Last 26 seconds of the half. Shot clock is off. Lem with the basketball. Guarded by Darren. Holding it for the last shot. 10 to go. There goes Mitchell Clem. Gets it to Roberts. Roberts takes the three. No good.
That negates a phenomenal screen by Collins.
That's going to do it. We're going to the locker room with your score. The Jags 36 and the Bobcats 30. And welcome back to Christenberry Fieldhouse on the campus of Augusta University. Along with Blake Collins, Robert Ambrose, I'm John Patrick. We're at halftime of our game between the Jags and the Bobcats from Georgia College. Jags up 36-30. Bobcats 12 of 35 from the field for 34%. Jags were 11 of 23 for 48%. Bobcats 2 of 7 shooting threes for 29%. Jags were 3 of 9 for 33%. Bobcats 4 of 8 from the free throw line. Jaguars more efficient, 11 of 13. Jordan Thomas leads the Bobcats with 11. Colton Collins has 5. Isaac Thomas with 4. Wesley Simpson with 3. Chapson Ryerson with 2. Desmond Mitchell-Laflamme with 2. Cole Roberts with 2. Justin Cave with 1. Rafael Montero leads the Jags with 12. Darren Lucas White with 7. Troy's got 5. Tyree 4. Dean 4. Miguel 2. And Tyvez Monroe with 2. Jags will get the ball to start the second half. Miguel, Darren, Tyvez, Dean, and Rafael start the second half for the Jags.